Hey everyone, against my better judgment, what I would like to do in this video is talk about Initiative Q. This is a website. It is claiming to be a digital currency, although there isn't any proof that there actually is one. It's planned for the future, and I'll just get this up front. It's not something I like, it's not something I recommend, and I was reluctant to even do a video about this, but I got a lot of requests about it, and this thing is spreading like a virus. Apparently they've got 3 million people signed up to it already, so I thought I would do a video about it. I thought I would give you my opinion on Initiative Q, the new, well, whatever you want to call it, the new BitConnect, the new multi-level marketing scheme, and that's what this website does. It claims to be a digital currency, but they don't actually have anything designed yet. They don't have anything working yet. In their timeline, they say this will come next summer. At this point, to me, it seems more, it seems nothing more than just an email acquisition project to get a lot of personal data, and it's working. They've got 3 million people signing up so far. I don't like this for a few reasons. It isn't a cryptocurrency, but they're drawing a lot of comparisons against cryptocurrency in the marketing material, and I think a lot of people are getting confused. So it's kind of giving crypto a bad name simply by association in a way. Another reason I don't like it, and maybe this isn't their fault, but over the last year or two, mainstream media has been very critical about cryptocurrency, and the majority of the time it has been justified. It's simply been, large mainstream companies, Forbes, CNN, all these companies that have got a hidden agenda to attack cryptocurrency, and it becomes apparent the more you learn about cryptocurrency and how it works, because you're reading the article and you start reading it and you think, the person who wrote this article has got no idea how any of this works, but they have been tasked to write a negative article. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because Initiative Q has been getting a lot of coverage on a lot of these mainstream websites, and some of them are actually giving it positive reviews, which is mind-boggling. I'm not a big fan of multi-level marketing, just as a standard. I don't like it as a way to promote anything. I've been working online for 19 years. Over that time, through my websites, blogs, forums, social media, I have called out a lot of scams, and a lot of those scams use multi-level marketing. And when you're talking about multi-level marketing, you use words like referral schemes, you use words like pyramid scheme, Ponzi scheme, and you use words like scam. Now, maybe it's too early to say that Initiative Q is any one of those. It's certainly using a pyramid scheme as far as the referral system goes, but it's not asking for any money. So it's not asking for any money up front as yet. On their website, they do say that they will allow people to buy and sell at a later date. So enough talk, enough blabbing on. What I'd like to do at this point is jump over to my computer, and I just want to show you the website. I want to give you a better understanding of where I'm coming from, why I don't like what they're doing, why I do not recommend anyone signing up, and yeah, just generally why I'm not a big fan of it. So let's jump over. So this is the Initiative Q website, and if you want to take anything positive from this video, it would be that, yeah, the website actually looks quite nice. I'm a big fan of minimal designs, and yeah, I've got no complaints with the website design. So there's the positivity out the way. There's a lot I don't like about what they're doing here. Even all the marketing stuff and all that, you have to kind of get through before you actually work out what's happening here. But let's look at the homepage here. It says here that Q is tomorrow's payment network. To get millions to join, we're giving away our future currency. Estimated future value of next spot, $18,907, based on a target value of $1 per Q. Then it says 10% is reserved after registration, 40% after inviting 5 friends, and the rest for future tasks. Now, this value here, earlier on today, I checked it when I was kind of just looking at the website and finding some things. You can see I've got some tabs open, and when I was doing some research on that was actually sitting at $20,000. It's been higher. I believe it goes up and down, and I think they've got a script so that it changes depending on how many times you visited the website. So I think because I was looking at it, trying to find some things to clarify how this works and to clarify my views on it, I think the the value has dropped. So it's not like this is an actual ticker. I believe it's just a script. I believe so. So right off the bat, that is not something I like. Anyone who's involved in cryptocurrency knows that the market decides the price. Now, there are some projects out there are some coins out there that use this strategy that say, we believe the coin will be this, we believe the currency will be worth that. But they have got absolutely, they cannot guarantee that this is going to be that value. In fact, the actual suggestion that this is going to be that price is ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. The fact that someone can just sign up via Facebook, invite 5 friends, and they're going to get $20,000. If it's too good to be true, it is, and this is too good to be true. Now, this isn't a cryptocurrency. It's one of the misconceptions I had about this initially because I've seen so many people talking about it. But what they're claiming is a future currency. It's a digital currency. Now, I came across this article from David Gerard here, and he talked about this a few months ago. And there's a part down here where he noticed that they had registered some ERC20 tokens, which anyone can do. And they've registered 2 trillion Q, 2 quadrillion QR. Now, that would make it a cryptocurrency, or at least the back end would be, on a blockchain. But there is no guarantee they're going to use that. But let's assume they are going to use these ERC20 tokens, and they either have 2 trillion or 2 quadrillion. And then let's think about what they're trying to say here. They're saying that the target value of 1Q, which is what they're calling the currency, they're saying it's going to be $1. Now, anyone who knows anything about money, about scarcity, about cryptocurrency, they will know that the total supply is very influential on what the value of a coin is. It's a major factor. And, look at Bitcoin. There's only 21 million coins ever going to be minted or created. And look at this, trillions or quadrillions. So for me, this is more likely to be a fraction of a cent, like 1/100th of a cent, rather than $1. $1 is so ambitious considering what that max supply is. It's ridiculous. Now, maybe they're not going to use it that way. Maybe they'll burn some of those tokens. I don't know. But if they are going down this route where they're going to have millions of coins, you can kiss this $1 away. You really would need it to be a limited sort of currency to get that kind of value. So, as I was saying, it's a pyramid scheme. It's a referral scheme. Everything just now is geared upon referring people. Now, if you look through the website, you'll see a lot of marketing and you'll see a lot of, just general marketing stuff to kind of bamboozle people. And for the most part, this kind of stuff works. They will quote some stats. They will tell you what's wrong with existing systems and how they're going to address it. But if you read between the lines, they're not actually saying anything. They're just saying the other systems aren't working. We're going to do it better. There is no white paper explaining how they're going to do it. There's nothing there. Now, granted, the guy who's founded this he wasn't a co-founder of PayPal, but he had a company which was sold to PayPal, I believe in 2008, I believe. And, he's obviously got experience in the payment world. That is fine. And of course, at this point, maybe in a few years' time, he could develop a good payment system. But it does not change the fact that right now, they don't have anything. They don't have a working product. They don't have a white paper. You don't know if they're going to actually build it on the blockchain. They've got tokens there, but it could be proof of stake. It could be proof of work. It could be masternodes. We don't know anything about anything. All we've got just now is marketing. And yeah, if you look through the website here, you can see a lot of the marketing babble. But even when you start looking at all this marketing stuff, a lot of this doesn't even add up. So you've got the FAQ page, and I want to go through a couple of pages here to kind of get my point across about why I don't like this. So as I said, it's a nice website. They've got a lot of information here. So again, there's a lot of comparisons on the website as far as cryptocurrency goes. They draw a lot of comparisons against cryptocurrency, and they're trying to paint cryptocurrency as if it's terrible. And you can see here, you will help reduce the enormous waste and pollution caused by Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, currently consuming as much energy as 6 million households. Now, that I think is a ridiculous thing to say, because where is, you know, where are all these, where's all the information for these payments going to be held? They're going to be held on computers. And if you're going to have trillions of coins, trillions of transactions, quadrillions of transactions, all these things have to be stored somewhere. They will use power to actually, you know, keep all that data there. So I don't know. It's one of those things, they start criticizing Bitcoin here without actually saying what they're going to do. They're just saying, well, you know, cryptocurrency wastes a lot of energy without actually saying how they're going to make it, you know, better or different. What are the risks? So right away, why should I join it? Yeah, so even like here, the earlier you join, the higher your reward. This is classic multi-level marketing. They create scarcity and they tell you to join up quicker. You know, essentially you want to get at the top of the pyramid. You want to join up quickly. We believe that initiative Q will overcome the main barrier to be a better payment system, has a good chance of becoming the global standard, a good chance. But even if you give it just a 0.1% chance of success, think of it as a free lottery ticket. So they're trying to say to people, hey, give us a shot. Why not? It's free and safe. All you need to do is provide your name and email. Now, that's not necessarily true if you're referring people via Facebook and they, you know, grab data via the Facebook page. They can also get your date of birth and, you know, other things, interests and all these things if you're signing up via Facebook on their Facebook page, if you follow them, etc. Plus, it's worth noting that that's all they're asking for right now. And that is something that you have to remember, people, I don't know why I'm calling you people, but that is something that you need to remember. All they're asking for right now is name and email. But when it comes to actually claiming anything of any value, you will probably have to add a lot of more information. I'll talk about that in a while, but just bear that in mind. Right, so what are the risks of signing up? There are no risks. I disagree. So you have to confirm your email address. So fair play to them. They've actually got here, is this a pyramid or multi-level marketing scheme? Pyramid schemes collect money from new members and distribute it. Now, that isn't necessarily true because a pyramid scheme can be set up for referrals and it doesn't have to introduce any kind of payment until later. Now, they're trying to compare themselves to like an airdrop or something like that, I believe. But the fact that they are trying to say it's not a pyramid scheme is a little bit ridiculous because they are using multi-level marketing here. They're using a pyramid referral system. That is exactly what they're using. So to suggest that they're not is a little bit bizarre. How can I get invited? Can I register multiple times? No, you cannot. Right, so all of that's there is just about verifying. Then you've got obtaining queues. Okay, what advantages does the queue payment network offer? Now, again, back to what I was saying before. There is no working demo, and if I kind of I'll jump ahead of myself here. I should have opened this before. If I go to the timeline, now this is, you know, one thing I really hate about the website. I will say this about the website is they don't even have anything in the title. All it's got is initiative Q, so I don't know which page is which. It just says initiative Q. That's very annoying. So anyway, the timeline is saying mid-2018 to mid-2019 is the recruitment campaign. They're not actually going to start developing anything until next summer, 2019, and then we'll work on it for 3 years. So what they're saying is sign up just now, and then in like basically 3 years or so, 3-4 years, they will have a network development and they'll have it all there. So they've got some other things there: seller recruitment, distribution of payment app, which they may ask for your fingerprint, your photo, your phone number, a lot of other things. And this is when they'll start getting more information for you. When they actually get to the point where they're going to pay you, they will start asking for more information. Network launch, exceed 100 million. Yeah. So yeah, that's the timeline, right? Okay, so that's the timeline. So bear that in mind. What advantages does the Q payment network offer? They're saying what advantages does the Q payment network offer? They haven't even begun. They've not even begun to even develop it yet. They've maybe got some things developing there, but I suspect at this point they don't have anything. They're probably looking at a number of different cryptocurrencies, a number of different algorithms, a lot of different systems that they can utilize. At this moment, they don't know, and this is why they are being so vague in all of their marketing material. Low transaction costs. Okay, what are the costs? What are the costs? Tell me what the costs are, because I can assure you that these costs are going to be higher than something like Digibyte or Dogecoin or even Litecoin. I will be very surprised if this provides cheaper costs than any one of a million different cryptocurrencies out there just now that offer fast transactions and very low costs. A universal currency, cutting edge measures, again vague, simplicity and user friendliness, one-click payments. Okay, you're basically just copying something from a Visa website at this point. So basically, this whole section here is vague marketing talk, and when it says what advantages does the Q payment offer, they're not really telling you anything. They're remaining vague about it all, right? So I think everyone can see here it's all vague. They're not actually giving you any facts or figures. They're not telling you what the transaction fees are. They're not telling you anything. They're kind of hiding behind all the marketing material and just bamboozling people with a lot of crap information that they don't actually need. So how much is 1 Q worth in dollars? At this stage, they can only be reserved. If it becomes a leading payment network, they're expected to be worth $1. Again, they can't say it's going to be worth $1. The market will decide. And this is one of a number of different payment systems out there. So for them to even begin to suggest that it will be worth $1 is ridiculous. If this gets to 1 cent, I will be very impressed. Very impressed. What is your estimate? Okay, so this is fun. What is your estimate of the Q value based on? The payment world is stuck with decades-old technologies. Okay, more vague stuff. Solves the problem by compensating early adopters. Right, okay. Right, so there's a few things. I don't like any of this, but look at this part, guys, right? It is realistic to expect that such a network would eventually overtake credit cards, which account for 20 trillion in annual transactions. So at this point, they're saying they're going to overtake Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and account for 20 trillion in annual transactions. They don't have anything yet at this point. So that makes this claim even more ridiculous. And, they're trying to use this. I could create a, KevQ today, create a mad system and then just say, well, they say they will have 20 trillion in annual transactions, but I can guarantee we're going to have 50 trillion or 100 trillion. And that's why our coin will be worth $10. This is just smoke and mirrors at this point. The total amount of money in the world is roughly half the world's annual, right? So they're just pulling numbers out their ass now. An alternative data point is the value of cryptocurrencies, which peaked at nearly 1 trillion despite hardly being used for real payments. Again, another comparison with cryptocurrencies. And then they've got with the founder, Sarah Wolf. Now, here's something to bear in mind. A lot of people point out the fact that this guy's founded a lot of companies and then sold them. And that is important. That's very important to realise when you're talking about, essentially at this point, all this is a data information company. It's a data acquisition company. So right now, the product is you. The product is anyone who signs up to this and anyone who's, refers and anyone else who joins up. If you join up, you're the product. Your information is the product. And they've got 3 million products. They've got 3 million people in a database. And that is important to remember because at this point, they've only asked for a name and email address, but they'll also have your IP address. They'll have a lot of other kind of information they'll be tracking. And yeah, this guy's got a habit of selling it. So bear that in mind because, well, I'll talk about that in a second. Right. What are Q agents? How many Qs are there? 2 trillion Qs will be issued, which kind of ties in with this, but I wouldn't take that as fact yet, because yeah, there's nothing. 2 million Qs, 80% expected to be distributed as incentive, 10% are the initiative Q company and all this, right? Legal core components. Qs versus crypto. How is this different from Bitcoin and cryptocurrency? So cryptocurrency is digital money. It's hard to counterfeit. Well, many dislike this complex system. It works reasonably well, and there's still no better alternative. So, okay, they're talking about unstable value. So they're just going to set the value. Legal controls, reversibility. Right, so this is something that's noted in this page as well. Reversibility. No matter how good a system is, if humans are involved, there will be mistakes and misunderstandings. Allowing transactions to be reversed benefits both buyers and sellers in the long term. Now, I'll talk about this in a second because they talk about this. Waste, energy consumption. So, here's the thing. Whenever any article, whenever any website compares, whenever they want to criticize cryptocurrency, they will point out Bitcoin's energy consumption. They won't point out other coins that don't have that kind of footprint, that perhaps have, more economical, more eco-friendly algorithms, perhaps proof-of-stake coins and stuff like that. They won't point out that. They'll point out Bitcoin. But they're pointing this out without actually talking about how much they will consume. And this is why I hate a lot of these articles that criticize cryptocurrency, because they're saying, oh, that's terrible, and then they're not giving a comparison of what is better. And you're forgetting that cash and all these other things, these all use up energy as well. You know, you have to transport cash, you need to create it in the first place. Is this an ICO? No. How is this different from an airdrop? Requesting members, right? Okay. So that's the FAQ page. I kind of went over more than I thought I would there. Okay, so here's the payment network that gives you, you know, again, this is, you know, all this information is from the FAQ page as well. But there's a part here that kind of annoyed me. So again, it's about Bitcoin. And in this area here, it says, no matter how good a system is, if humans are involved, there will be mistakes and misunderstandings. That's why reversibility, one of the limitations of Bitcoin, is so important. Now, here's the thing. I don't like PayPal. And reading between the lines here, this is what they're trying to do, build a kind of PayPal rival. I don't like PayPal because of so many things, because, you know, the fees, for one, high transaction fees, because there's slow response times, because of how poor the customer service is, and because they close down accounts that have got 10,000 or hundreds of thousands of dollars in it. But I realise there is a place for services like PayPal that protect the buyer and occasionally protect the seller. I do realise that there are, you know, there is a need for that, and maybe that's what Initiative Q are trying to do. But they're saying that being able to reverse a payment is a limitation of Bitcoin. It isn't. This is one of the benefits of blockchain technology, of a cryptocurrency. This is by design. Not being able to reverse what was printed into a ledger is by design. Now, it's too early to say anything about Initiative Q, because it's a year before they've even started putting pen to paper, and then another few years before anything comes out. And that's assuming they actually even get there and they don't just sell the company and move on. But if they do, let's say they follow their timeline and they do go through and they do something with this and it becomes something like a PayPal rival, then yes, they will not have that limitation, and they will be able to reverse things. But again, they're going to be the same as PayPal. They're going to be able to reverse payments, and you might, you know, sell something and then they might reverse the payment and your money's taken away from you. That's one of the downsides of this, and they're trying to spin this negative into a positive. Again, I do realise there are pros and cons to a system like that, and cryptocurrency, you know, the fact that you can't do a reversal is something that doesn't sit well with everyone. But they keep drawing comparisons to cryptocurrency, and they keep kind of cherry picking what they like and what they don't like. But saying that not being able to reverse something is a limitation of Bitcoin, I don't think is entirely true. So there's more information on that page. I won't bore you with all of it. Okay, so the terms of service is, as you would expect, very important. The terms of use here is actually is kind of par for the course here. But one thing you have to note is down here. Now, it says it's not been updated since May, but you can see here, by using the site, you agree to a privacy policy, which may be amended from time to time, the current version of which is available here. Now, I've got this here loaded up. Now, that is something you have to recognize. They may amend their privacy policy, this, at any time. And as soon as you sign up with your name and email address, they can adjust this privacy notice at any time, and they can adjust it. Now, this is kind of what they do online. A lot of websites do this because, you know, what they're going to do, email you and say, we've got another, you know, 50,000 word document in small print. Do you agree with it? But it also is something that can be abused, and it is something that is abused a lot. You know, companies change the terms and conditions. I have been screwed out of a huge amount of money over the years by companies that just change their terms and conditions. For example, I referred customers to a large advertising company. You know, I was a sales agent for them effectively, and they gave me lifetime commissions, and then they just amended those terms and conditions and said, no, we're going to close that now. And it's in their terms and conditions. And be aware of that. Terms and conditions are what are applicable right now, but they can and they will be changed. So let's look at the privacy notice here. Now, a lot of this here I'm not going to complain about, because a lot of this is something that every website has to disclose now, as far as your personal data, as far as your IP address, your browsing around the website that they'll use on Google Analytics. You can see here it says we may use service providers, e.g. cloud computing services like Amazon Web Services. That's, you know, that's something every website uses, or Cloudflare or something like that. Cookies, all these things are kind of par for the course. But there is a few things here that you should pay attention to. They've got the statistical data, analytics, disclosure. So if you look here, disclosure of data, we may share your data, including personal data, as follows: business partners, service providers, affiliates, and subcontractors. Now, anyone who's followed Facebook over the last year or so will probably be aware of the, you know, how this can be bent, and how third-party companies are sometimes just someone who just signed up for an app that day, and then they can get access to all your information. Now here they're saying, e.g. Amazon Web Services, which is fine. But it could be anyone, you know, who are business partners, who are affiliates, who are subcontractors, and why they're allowed to find out information about you or me or anyone else. Again, this is something you find on most websites, but it is something that could be adjusted later on. It could be abused. They've got international transfer there as well, you know, transferring information. They've got business transfers. Now, again, going back to what I said earlier, this was on the FAQ page about this guy, Sar Wolf, who's apparently started a few companies and sold them. Fine, the guy's an entrepreneur, he's a smart guy, he's obviously created some good companies and later been bought out. But the fact he has started a few companies and sold them is relevant when you look at this section, business transfers. We may transfer our databases containing your personal data if we sell our business or part of it, including in cases of liquidation. Data about our users, including personal data, may be disclosed as part of or during negotiations, any merger, sale of company assets or acquisition, and shall continue being subject to the provisions of this privacy notice. So it doesn't have to be, your personal information might not be transferred to someone else if they buy the company. You could have 20 different companies bidding to buy this company in 6 months' time or a year's time, and every single one of them will get access to your data. And that's not, you know, whether they could obviously just sell your data before then, or the new company could sell it and just change the terms and conditions. So it is worth reading these pages here. If you look at the website, they try and keep it simple as far as marketing talk. And again, this is what I don't like about this. I don't like any website. I don't like any, you know, I was going to say cryptocurrency or any coin or any digital currency, but at this point I don't think it's even fair to call this a digital currency. There is no working product. There's nothing there to demonstrate that they're going to do what they're saying they're going to do. But I don't like any website that claims that their new coin is going to be a specific value. Certainly when they're telling you you're going to make $18,907 simply by signing up and, you know, sending a few referral emails. So like 2 minutes work and you've got $20,000 in your pocket. That is absolutely ridiculous. So I don't like anything right off the bat. You know, I'm thinking scam website, spidey senses tingling, stay away from this. But not just that, you know, if you look through all the marketing material, the timeline suggests nothing's happening for a year, and all they're doing over the next year is just gathering email addresses. But if you look at the FAQ, if you look at the page about the payment network, there is a lot of there's a lot of information here, but none of it is useful. This is something I've seen a lot in cryptocurrency white papers as well, where they will bamboozle you with, you know, marketing material, and they'll tell you why Bitcoin is bad, why cryptocurrency is bad, and why they're going to do it better. But they're saying they're going to do it better, and they've not explained anything about how they're actually going to do it. There's no information about transaction fees. There's no information about anything. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's like, look over there, and then they run that way. So yeah, I don't like this. I just don't like the way this is set up. If you read between the lines here, there's a lot of FAQs and information here as if they're going to be fantastic. And yeah, there's nothing here. I've got a claim here that they're going to overtake credit cards, which will account for $20 million, which is why they're going to have the Q coin at $1. Absolutely ridiculous. They've got no answers for any, you know, the criticisms. You know, they've got a lot of criticism for Bitcoin, in particular Bitcoin, but also cryptocurrency as a whole. They criticize it, which is fine. But if you're going to criticize it, you have to explain why your system is going to be better. There's no white paper. There's no working product. There's absolutely nothing here but ridiculous claims that anyone that signs up today is going to get $20,000, and it's going to be a coin worth $1 because, you know, apparently they're going to overtake Visa and MasterCard and Amex and American Express, the lot. Initiative Q is going to take over. So yeah, I'll leave links to all of these so you can check it out. But at this point, what I'd like to do is switch camera and just kind of give you my closing thoughts on Initiative Q. So with over 3 million people signed up to Initiative Q in just a few months, it's clear that a lot of people don't share my opinion about the new coin or this website or whatever it is at this point. And I'm sure that if I was talking to one of these people, I'm sure that the general consensus amongst these people would be, well, what have you got to lose? Just a name, it's just an email address. And I can understand that. I can understand that viewpoint. You know, it doesn't take long to sign up. We use our name and email address every single day. We're signing up to social media websites, we're signing up to forums, we're signing up to online shops. We give our name and email address out a lot. But it is important to realise that that's all they have just now. In just a few months, they've got 3 million names and email addresses and IP addresses and a few other things that they can gather from you signing up. And that's just now. And the way that it's spreading, it's not going to surprise me if in a few months' time, this, you know, they're sitting there with 5 million people, 10 million people, 25 million people. It wouldn't surprise me. They're very effective at what they're doing. And you know, I've seen this many times before. Multi-level marketing structures, you know, as far as marketing goes, it always does well because people are enticed with this. People are enticed with get rich quick schemes. Now, it's kind of funny for me looking at the website because on the one hand, it's saying, you know, you're going to get like $19,000 or whatever it may be by just signing up and referring 5 people, and then at the others on the FAQ page, it even says, well, if it's only 1.1%, why not take a risk? You know, why not sign up? They're almost giving in before they've even started. They're almost saying, you know, take a punt, take a chance on us. I think that I'm kind of preaching to the choir here though. You know, I'm publishing this video to my cryptocurrency YouTube channel. I would actually say that most of my viewers, most of my subscribers are more conscious of their privacy and their personal data than I am. You know, I've talked to a lot of my subscribers and viewers over this year, and they use a VPN. They hide their IP address. They hide a lot of other information. They don't like filling in, you know your customer information on exchanges and things like that. And they take their identity and their, you know, their privacy very seriously. So I have no doubt that most of the people who watch my channel and, you know, are a subscriber to my channel, I'm sure that most of those people probably share my opinion of Initiative Q and probably saw the claim that it was, you know, you're going to make $20,000 by signing up. They probably saw that and thought, scam. This is some sort of BitConnect kind of related scam, and they probably look no further. But clearly there's a lot of people who are signing up. Now, I think it's fair to say that most people who, if they hang out on Facebook and Twitter a lot, I'd say that generally people who are on those websites all the time, and I know myself because I've got some Facebook pages, so I have to have an account, because you can't unfortunately just have an admin account. You have to have a personal account as well. And I think it's fair to say that most of my friends on Facebook, they're not as tech savvy as people involved in cryptocurrency, and they're more likely to see that and go, well, why not try it? And perhaps they don't analyze it the way that I'm analyzing it, and they perhaps don't analyze it the way that anyone watching my channel would analyze it. What I would say to anyone out there, perhaps, you know, who comes across this video and isn't involved in cryptocurrency, you might be looking at this and, you know, from the mindset that what's the harm that can be done here? What's the harm? And I can understand that viewpoint, but what I would also say is that you need to look at the bigger picture of what's happening here. They are, at this point, they're not a payment company, they're not a currency, they're not anything, they don't have a working product. At this point, all they are is an email acquisition company. They are acquiring a lot of data, and that data is very valuable. You go into Google and just, you know, it doesn't take long to just type in a few keywords and you will find there's a lot of large advertising networks that will buy this sensitive information, and you'll be surprised at how much they pay for it. If you've got a website and you've got a huge database of IP addresses, names, emails, browsing habits, interests, that information is worth a lot. It's why Facebook is worth a lot of money. It's why most social media companies are worth so much money. And, you know, overnight, this company has acquired 3 million people, 3 million addresses, 3 million names and addresses and IP addresses, and they're acquiring more information. And as I said, the way that this is designed, they can change their terms and conditions and all that. So they're going to change the goalposts. They're going to move the goalposts, in the future. And I have no doubt that when they do release a payment app, or when they do release something else, it's not just your name and email address. It's going to be your phone number, your full home address. It's perhaps going to be your passport, passport information, or whatever else they need right now. Or perhaps it's going to be access to your phone and see your contacts. Or perhaps it's going to be access to your laptop or phone and see your browsing history. All this stuff is important to them because they can sell that data to 1 company, to 10 companies, to 20 companies. There's absolutely no guarantee at this point either that this company will even exist in its current form 6 months down the line or a year down the line. This could just be a way to acquire money. They don't have any working product. They have no demo. They have no information about what their payment system will actually do. There's no information about transaction fees. There's a kind of vague explanation of what they're going to do, and they're criticising other payment systems without giving a definitive answer as to what they're going to do. But there's no information here. So at this point, all they are is a very successful and a very intelligent, company when you think about it. But all they are at this point is just a company that's acquiring personal data, and everyone's handing it over. I would be very reluctant to sign up and give a company like this my information because they don't have a working product. They don't have anything else. And because this guy, I'm not going to sit there and say that, wow, well, they must be legit. This guy sold a small company to PayPal. That doesn't mean anything. And I can assure you there's a lot of people that have made money on the internet, millionaires, billionaires even, and these people have no ethics. I'm not calling out everyone, but there's a lot of these people that are disgusting the way that they handle sensitive information. So my opinion is, if you haven't signed up, don't sign up. Don't be tempted to sign up. Look at this for what it is. If this ever gets to like 1/10 of a cent, I would be very surprised, given the fact they're going to have 2 trillion coins. And given the fact that most people will probably see this for what it is, and there's no working product, there's no investment in a product. All they've done is thrown up a website and thrown up a referral system, a very effective referral system. But at this point, that's all it is. It's a pyramid structure. It's a way to get people in, and yeah, that's what it is. It's kind of unfortunate though, all the criticism about cryptocurrency, all the comparisons that they've got with Bitcoin. There's going to be a lot of people that really don't understand cryptocurrency, really don't understand payment systems in general. And they will probably think that this is a cryptocurrency, and they will think that this is a fantastic thing. Certainly, if they do get a lot of referrals. I've seen this so many times before as well, where someone gets really tied into the system because they've got a lot of referrals, and there's, look at this, I've got 100Q now, I've got 1000Q, that's amazing. They want it to be so successful, and they're so invested in it emotionally that they, stop looking at facts. And the facts for me are that, well, time will tell, but for me this looks like a scam. At the very least, it looks like a company that's got no working product at this point. Excuse me, I'm dehydrated and I'm misspeaking. So yeah, guys, this has been my thoughts on Initiative Q. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of multi-level marketing projects in general, but I'm certainly not a fan of any project that launches without a working product. What they should have done, if they are legit, is develop their cryptocurrency or their payment system, their digital currency. They should have developed this. They should have refined it. They should have got it working. They should have been transparent about transaction fees, and then they come out and then they get people involved. But they didn't do that because they're not telling us why, are they? So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I know these kind of videos, whenever I talk about any kind of multi-level marketing thing, I get a ton of abuse. I get racist abuse. I get just general trolling comments and people saying that I don't understand this system. But yeah, par for the course. I hate to break it to you guys. Maybe this is a 1 in a million lottery ticket, but the fact is 3 million of you have that lottery ticket. So if it does come up, I'd be very surprised if you get anything more than 10 cents. Right, guys, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you know more about what this website is about. I'd love to hear your opinion on this, so please do leave a comment below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.